Millennials. Millennials tend to spend more than any other group. I don't know if everybody knew that. Millennials, as I said earlier, ages 27 to 42 approximately. So let's say mid 20s to the early 40s. This is the group that I guess has their first child or children. This is the group that will buy their first home, perhaps have a few homes. This is also the group of individuals that will have probably or more than likely a mortgage or tend to rack up debt, especially as they send their kids to school and different programs, as they spend money on their homes, renovating their homes, as they spend money traveling over the summer months or over Christmas time. So this group, millennials, tend to spend more than any other group. So it's no wonder that they're racking up debt at levels that we have not seen before. And we have a pretty good chart on this here where we talk about millennials and Generation X most stretched by debt. And I think this is a great chart to show because you can really see over the last 20 years how much debt levels have gone up. So this is household debt to disposable income by year. And you could see here that under 35, not much change between 1999 and 2019. But when you jump to that millennial group, I guess the group would be slightly under 35, but that group 35 to 44, which are your millennials, you can see how much debt they've, I guess, increased, or the level of debt, how much it's increased over the past 20 years. You can tell that by the blue area. And 45 to 54, that too had a pretty significant increase. And 55 to 64, you're looking at about, I guess it would show you about 150% debt to income. So even people in their high income earning years, which would be ages 55 to 64, those that are just about to head into retirement, they too have a lot of debt. And 65 plus, these are individuals that you would think probably don't have a lot of debt. Hopefully, this grouping of individuals has paid down their debt. They've paid off their mortgage over time. But even still, you're looking at pretty much a debt level in that 50 to maybe 75% range disposable income. So even that age group is starting to show us that they're taking on a lot of debt. So am I surprised to see that debt levels for millennials has risen as much as they have, as it has? Absolutely not. I talk to people all the time, and for a while, when the Bank of Canada was raising interest rates, many individuals really didn't seem to notice, didn't seem to ask me questions about it. They didn't really, I don't want to say they didn't care because I'm sure they did, but I don't think it was as much of a worry as it is today. I think everybody started to feel the difference in interest rate policy and where interest rates are when individuals started to get letters from their banks saying they need to increase mortgage payments. Usually, if interest rates go higher, then the actual payment doesn't change. You just pay more to interest and less to your original borrowing amount. But what has happened is because interest rates have gone up so quickly that the payments that people were making just not enough even to just cover the interest alone, let alone the original amount that you borrowed. So overall, I think people started to become, I guess, maybe more jittery, more fearful, start to notice what's going on, start to notice when the Bank of Canada was having meetings. I guess recently, I've noticed that a lot of individual investors have been pulling out money from their accounts to pay down debts, to pay down higher mortgage rates. And so that's what I've been seeing. That's a trend that I've been seeing. And that is millennials as well as other age groups. So overall, am I surprised to see debt as high as it is? Not really. A lot of people are starting to use more plastic. A lot of places are forcing you to use more plastic, not taking cash, for example. Card only type places. I've seen many of those in Toronto. So we are taking more debt, whether we like it or not. We are borrowing more, putting more in our visas than we have done in the past. And millennials, being that age group that spends more than any others, I think you just have to be mindful of that. I think you need to perhaps sit down, make a budget, take a look at what you're bringing in every month, take a look at what you're spending every month, because I think as long as these interest rates remain high, higher for longer, as we're hearing, I think people need to be a lot more mindful and cognizant of what's going on, and you know, be under budget, be within your budget, live within your means, because things can, unfortunately, snowball very quickly where you're paying a lot more than you're taking in on a monthly basis.